I talk to a lot of people, at the cons,
Hmm.
and it's very humbling to find out how many people don't know the names of the authors of the books they're reading.
Hmm.
So, like, I get a lot of people who tell me, a lot of younger people read Wings of Fire, which is a series, aimed for readers before they would age up to my books.
Hmm.
But it's not just because these are kids but even neither the kids nor the parents can tell me the name of the author who writes them.
Hmm.
They'll be talking about some dragon books that they enjoy, and I'll be asking, do you know the title? And they don't know the title, and do you know the name? And they don't know the name of the author. And I'll say, is it Wings of Fire? Oh yeah, that's Wings of Fire. That's it.
So they've memorized the series name rather than the author's name.
Yeah, and but I can look back of my own reading when I was younger, and in some ways, I was probably 15 or 16 before I started really developing favorite authors. The before that, really all I needed to know was the book science fiction or fantasy
Hmm.
uh, uh, or free. Basically, if it was at the library,
Hmm.
and I could check it out, I would check it out and read it,
Hmm.
I would just go through. I mean, back then in small town, Mississippi, you would go and the science fiction section would be 12 books. So
Hmm. Yeah.
eventually I would read all of them.
I was in high school when I developed my first author. It was Ray Bradbury. I don't
Okay.
remember which one I read. I think it was Martian Chronicles. But I started looking for everything that was written by him, and then there was Arthur C. Clarke, and then but they were specific authors, and they didn't write series. I don't
Right.
remember any series from when I was first interested in science fiction.
Yeah. So Anne McCaffrey, I would say, Anne McCaffrey and Frank Herbert with Dune, uh, both were kind of early entrants into that. We're going to just keep writing the same setting and same concept forever. I would say that started in the
Hmm.
60s or so. But before that, there was Lord of the Rings and Tolkien writing multiple books in the same uh, general setting. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I mean, I can go back even further than that. I mean, uh, you know, uh, uh, authors like Dickens would publish their works serially. So,
Hmm.
so things we think of today as a single book, came out as 8 separate sub books.
Yeah, I mean Tarzan and stuff like that. It was a
Yeah,
series, and it's very
right.
old. Wizard of Oz. I mean, I've only read the first three
Yep.
books, but still. But I came upon all of those later. Like after high school. Let me ask you: the sense of awareness of cover design, does it extend to titles? Do you have any pointers for title design?
I don't have as firm a rule for titles. The first book I ever had published had a fairly long title. It was called Nobody Gets the Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily obvious when you hear Nobody Gets the Girl what genre it is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I personally, if I were writing a superhero book today, I probably wouldn't give it such a flowery floral name. I'd probably just name it straight for a character from the book.
Mm.
So my most recent superhero books have been called Cut Up Girl, Big Ape, and Victory, which are all based on character names
Mm.
from the books.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, I just think it's more direct with my uh, fantasy novels. I've tended to go for one word titles like Witchbreaker and Great Shadow
Mm-hmm.
that are more they're evocative. They kind of speak to their being fantasy, but they're still just there on a single line capturing it. But there's nothing wrong with something like Game of Thrones. Obviously, that's a very successful title. But you could
Mm-hmm.
also hear Game of Thrones and you have that medieval. You probably if you were if you heard that, you would either guess, if someone asked you to guess the genre, you'd be like, well, this is either a book about history or it's a fantasy novel.
Yeah, yeah.